A lot of people that I've been watching are listening to some of their favorite tracks, whether it be through Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. I really, it doesn't matter. They're listening to some of their favorite tracks, and I am enjoying myself listening to the tracks with them. I'll be the first to admit, it is really cool to find out that one of the streamers that you follow also likes a song that you like, because it humanizes them and it also makes you feel that much more connected to them. Here's the issue, and I know a lot of you know this already, but I feel like it needs to be said. You're putting yourself into hot water when you're just listening to the music. If all you're doing is you're using top 10 or top 20 or top 50 tracks of 2022 as your playlist, and you're not doing anything with the music, you're setting yourself up for not failure, but you're setting yourself up to be hit with a mute or a strike. Strikes are bad. We know this from baseball. Strikes on your account can be it can have a extremely negative effect. The first thing I've noticed, at least when this happens to me, because I'm not perfect. This definitely happens to me. But the first thing I'll notice is that my stream, my VOD, my video on demand, will get muted. So that means if anybody goes back to watch that video, they won't be able to, basically enjoy whatever the content was, because they mute the whole video. They have the technology to mute the song, but they just rather mute the whole video. It is what it is. And the reason behind that is because you or me, as the streamer, we don't have the rights to broadcast that song. We don't. Just because you have a subscription to Spotify, Apple Music, whatever it is, you do not have the rights to broadcast that song. If you were a radio station or a radio DJ, streaming on Twitch even, you might have the broadcast rights, and this does not apply to you. This is for every other streamer out there that wants to listen to Post Malone, wants to listen to, 98 Degrees, Korn, whatever. If the piece of music is copyrighted and you don't have a license to play that on your stream, you're opening yourself up to being potentially hit with a strike or a takedown notice. Every platform is going to do it differently. So, like I mentioned, Twitch generally will mute your VODs. TikTok will mute the whole video. That's a whole other thing, because it's fucking TikTok. YouTube will generally do one of three things. They'll either just let you have the video in full, but you can't make any money off of that video. So if that video goes viral, it does extremely well, you might get a bunch of follows, you might get a bunch of subs, and a bunch of thumbs up and likes and stuff like that. But with regard to any kind of monetary compensation on that particular video, you'll be able to play it, but you won't be able to make any money off of the ad sales. The other thing that YouTube will do is that they will give you the opportunity to switch out that music. Now, again, they use some sort of AI tech to be able to switch out just the music, and I believe they do their best to keep whatever else, if you have any commentary over the music, like I'm doing right now. They do their best. It's not perfect, but they do their best so they don't have to completely delete the whole video or mute the whole video. And then the last thing that YouTube will do, generally, is they'll just block it in full. And you won't be able to show it to anybody, even if it's unlisted, even if it's private. Now, none of these are effectively copyright strikes. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know what would constitute a copyright strike versus just like them YouTube muting your stuff. But it's, you know, it's good to know, and it's just food for thought when you are broadcasting copyrighted music that you don't have a license to broadcast. You are putting yourself in this hot water. Now, I want to give Twitch and YouTube and all the other content social platforms, even Twitter, Facebook, even. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because they're not the ones taking it down. They're not the ones muting you. If you want to be mad at anybody about the situation that we're in, you need to voice your opinion to the record labels. It's the record labels that are doing this, not Twitch. Case in point, Twitch, I think it was a year ago, might have been 2 years ago. They had their like televised TwitchCon. They had Metallica on stage. Metallica started to play their song, and then immediately the actual live broadcast was muted and overlaid with some generic music that was supposedly DMCA royalty free, because the record label that owns the masters for Metallica automatically got the notification and just said, yeah, mute that shit. I'm just saying the reality is there, that even your live streams have the potential to get muted. You are not above anybody. This will happen to Shroud as much as it happens to the person that is turning on Twitch for the first time and streaming for the first time. The possibility and potential is there. You need to stop using music that you don't have licenses for. It's just the reality. I don't like it. I would love to be able to sing along to Sweet Home Alabama or Candle in the Wind without worrying. But that's the situation that we're in right now. The DMCA, or better known as the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, is a part of U.S. copyright law. While this generally is only for the United States. Hey, what's going on, Cypher? While it's generally for the United States, a lot of other countries are adopting this. Cypher says, I feel like this problem is mostly caused by the drop in CD sales. 100%. I mean, that's why this came out. This came out in the late 90s. The DMCA Act came out in the late 90s solely for the purpose of protecting the rights of the artists, and more importantly, the labels, the recording labels, because they wanted to nip it in the bud to make sure pirated music was not getting out there without the consent of these labels.